Hey guys, today we are going, this stinks. We are going to be learning how to convert measurements. And something that you're supposed to be learning right now is how to convert between the English and the metric system. But right now we're just doing a lot of review. So first off, I want to review like how to convert things. When you're converting between two different systems, you're doing it using proportions. And I'm going to go into that a little bit more later. But this is when we get to start doing things like cross multiplying and dividing. And some of you already know about this, but it's like setting up two fractions that are equal to each other and then finding the variable for x. But today we're going to start out with something really simple based off of cooking Chex Mix. I already started because I attempted to make this video once and then my daughter started screaming. So if you hear like Cocomelon in the background, that's from her. And yeah, but anyway, I'm not going to edit this because I don't have the time to do that, nor do I really want to take the time. Oh, I do have the time. I just don't want to take the time to do it. So you get what you get. Today we're going to be practicing converting between cups, pints, quarts, and gallons. You guys should know this stuff already, but we are going to review it because this is the practical math that you need to know. So first off, things that you need to know, take notes. There are 4 quarts and 1 gallon. There are 2 pints and 1 quart. And there are 2 cups and 1 pint. So what are we going to be using in order to like convert like cups to pints and pints to quarts and going back and forth? Do you think I'm going to be using adding and subtracting or multiplying and dividing? Well, if I'm converting between the two, whenever you're converting between the metric systems, you're always going to be using multiplying and dividing. So if I have, let's say, 2 pints, how many cups is that? Well, there are 2 cups per pint. I take 2 times 2, and since 2 cups equals 1 pint, and I have 2 pints, you take 2 times 2, and you get 4 cups. So we're going to be using a lot of multiplying and dividing throughout this. Like I said, we're making Chex Mix because that is something you guys can do at home because it's pretty easy. You don't even have to use Chex. I'm just using whatever corn, rice, wheat-based things that I have in my home. So like I'm using my pretzels, and I had corn and rice Chex because I was making puppy chow. And you also need to have some mixed nuts or peanuts or whatever your favorite type of nut is. It just adds like a good flavor. You're supposed to have at least a cup of it. I ran out. I was like at like a quarter of a cup, which is how much of a pint? That's 1/8 of a pint. So I had 1/8 of a pint of my mixed nuts. So it's not going to be as nutty. That's okay. I make up for it with my brain. So what you need, you're going to need 3 cups of everything. With a total then, if I have 3 things, okay, that's not true. I need 3 cups of everything except for whatever nutty thing that you use, and that's only 1 cup. So if I have 3, 3, and 3, how much is that? That gives me 9 cups. And then the additional cup gives us how many cups? That's 10 cups by using what? Adding. So I need a total of 10 cups of stuff in my mix. If you use a little bit more, that's fine. It's just that the mixture that you use to pour on top of it to give it its flavoring might not be as strong. If you use a little bit less, it might be overpowering or it might be a little bit soggy. Doesn't matter. Like I said, doesn't matter if you use corn or if you use Chex or whatever, just as long as you have 10 cups of stuff. Things that are really good are like Cheez-Its. You okay? I think she's okay. So, other things that you need for the mixture, you need butter. You need 6 tablespoons of butter. A full stick of butter is a 1/2 cup. I need 3/4 of a 1/2 of a cup. So what's 3/4 of a 1/2 cup? What am I using? I want to use of. Multiplication. Of means multiplication. So I take 3/4 times 1/2, and that gives me 3/8 of a cup. So if I have that, then I have 3 16ths of a pint. Yeah. Okay, so I need that. I need 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. I'm also gonna mix in a little bit of hot sauce because I want it to be a little bit spicy and have a little bit of extra zing. You need salt, garlic, and you're supposed to have onion powder. I didn't have any, so I'm using some chopped onions. And then I also wanted to have some curry flavor, so I'm gonna add some curry to it. I don't know if it's gonna taste good. We're gonna figure it out. So anyway, I need 2 tablespoons of liquidy goodness. So I'm not gonna use a full teaspoons. Come on, Raider. Tablespoons. I need 2 tablespoons of liquidy goodness. So I'm not gonna use the full 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce because I'm gonna be adding like a teaspoon of hot sauce, which really isn't that hot. It's like Louisiana hot sauce. Not that hot. Okay, and then I need a tablespoon, oh no, don't add a tablespoon. I need a teaspoon of salt because it's called, like on the recipe, it calls for like a teaspoon and a half, but that I found out that was too much salt, so don't add that much. And then 3/4 of a teaspoon of garlic powder. You'll notice that I'm not actually measuring these. That's because I just use my eyes and I've been cooking for like 30 years. And then you need a 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder. And I'm going to add probably about a 1/2 teaspoon of curry powder because I want some good curry flavor in here. And then we're gonna mix that all together. Doop-a-doop-a-doop. I guess with my knife, because that's what I have. And then you're gonna pour it over this, and then you're going to use your hands and get all nasty. And then pour it all over it. Make sure everything is mixed nice and well. And then you need to wash your hands afterward. Count that as one of your like 50 times that you're washing your hands now. You want some ASMR? This is it. Okay, and then you're just gonna stick it into the microwave and you're gonna cook it for about 6 minutes. Every 2 minutes, you're going to take it out of the microwave and stir it up so that like all of the seasoning can be mixed up. After your 6 minutes, you might only want to do it for 5 minutes because mine's kind of got burnt at like 6 minutes, maybe 5.5 minutes. So after 6 minutes or 5.5 minutes or 5 minutes, you're going to take it and like pour it out on like a cooking sheet or on parchment paper or paper towels, whatever you have at home. Or you can even just pour it on your counter because if you don't have those things, just make sure your counter is clean. It's just so that it kind of dries out. And then after it's all dried out, then put it in a container that you can like put a lid on. And then you have Chex Mix. And so we need to go over, after I make this, because I'm not going to do it right now, I have 10 cups of stuff in here. So how many pints is that? If I have 10 cups, and there are 2 cups in a pint, you're going to take 10 and divide it by what? 2. And you get 5 pints. So how many pints are in a quart? It's right there, 2 pints in a quart. So if I have 5 pints, how many quarts do I have? You're going to take 5 and you're going to divide it by what? 2, right. So you're going to take 5 divided by 2, and that gives you 2.5 or 5/2, but we're going to say 2.5. So how much yummy goodness should you have overall for gallons? There are 4 quarts in a gallon, and I have 2.5 quarts. If I divide that by 2, then that's going to give me a little over 1/2 gallon, which is great. But I think I mixed more than that. I think this is more than 1/2 gallon, but whatever. Anyway, I hope that you guys try this. It might be something fun for you to do with your parents or for whatever. Anyway, that's how you convert things. It is applicable to this into cooking. Yeah. and I will see you guys again tomorrow. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, and if you do, don't tell me about it. Bye.